Welcome to a bad recap of the Lego Batman movie, the greatest piece of superhero media to ever be released. Try and prove me wrong. The movie starts with a cargo plane filled with explosives flying over Gotham City, when all of a sudden it's ambushed by a helicopter. The hijackers breach the plane and the Jonkler enters the cockpit. Oh no, what's he gonna do with that plane? He reveals his plan to take out Gotham's energy facility with the help of Batman's legendary gallery of rogues, including the Riddler, Mr. Freeze, and my goat, Condiment King. Meanwhile, the police hear about the energy plant raid, but since all of the villains are white, they can't do anything to stop them. They race over to the facility where the Joker's goons have installed a giant bomb on the main reactor, holding the entire city hostage and demanding a meeting with the mayor. With no other choice, the mayor is, for some reason, put into a harness to be airlifted into the facility. Who does she think she is? Lewis Hamilton? She lands in the midst of chaos, surrounded by Joker and the other villains. She asks the Joker if he likes to gamble, my kind of woman, and then gives him some advice. She tells him to always bet on black. Batman is here to commit some war crimes. He takes on the army of villains, defeating each of them with high-tech gadgets and sick moves, all the while singing about his muscles and his riches, like
who never skips leg day? Batman! Who always pays their taxes? Not Batman!
What? That's disgusting. I can't believe this. Why doesn't Batman skip leg day? All of the villains run away to escape critical brain damage, leaving just the Joker and Batman for an epic one-on-one duel. But in the end, Batman has to choose between disarming the bomb to save the city or finally catching the clown prince of crime. The Joker claims to be Batman's greatest villain, but he isn't ready for that sort of commitment just yet. He tells the Joker that what they have isn't special. He's just a mentally ill person he likes to assault. He says he doesn't need the Joker and allows him to escape whilst he disarms the bomb. The entire city celebrates his victory and he goes on a joyride through Gotham. Oh, must resist making a second 9/11 joke. He flies directly to his secret base on Wayne Island. I'm sure nobody will connect the dots. And on approach he's asked for the secret password, which is
Iron Man sucks.
He has a microwave lobster dinner, watches a movie in his home theater, and plays some guitar. But it's very clear that he's all by himself, with nobody other than his butler to share his mansion with. God, he is so lonely. All the other superheroes are scared of him. They think he is unstable. The Batman. His butler Alfred interrupts his brooding to tell him that he needs to face his biggest fear. Women? No. Taxes? No. Big oiled up black men? Bruce, what the f***? He tells him that he needs to open up to the outside world, to make some friends, to start a family, and that he's scheduled to attend the police commissioner's retirement party that evening.
No, I don't want to do that.
He throws a hissy fit over having to leave the house. He's just like me for real, but eventually caves and heads to the party. On the way, he watches the news where Superman is being interviewed. He talks about his relationship with his greatest villain, Zod, and how much their constant fighting means to him. We then see that Joker is watching the same broadcast, getting very jealous over how much Superman values his villains. He then learns about the Phantom Zone, a parallel dimension filled with the most evil and villainous villains to ever villain. Hearing this gives Joker an idea to finally prove to Batman that they belong together. Meanwhile, Batman, or Bruce, arrives at the party and is spotted by Richard Grayson, who praises him as the greatest orphan of all time. Just you wait until I abandon my son. He goes up to speak with Bruce, who is just NPCing his way through the unskippable cutscene, answering the boy's questions willy-nilly.
My name's Richard Grayson, but all the kids at the orphanage call me Dick.
Well, children can be cruel.
Bruce then gets distracted when the new police commissioner arrives at the party. This is Barbara Gordon, yes, the daughter of retiring police commissioner Jim Gordon. Damn nepotism. She gives a speech on her new plans to rid crime from the streets of Gotham, which include killing children before they can grow up to become criminals. Oh, how brave. She also says it's time to put an end to Batman's vigilanteing, his vigilantism, his crippling of poor people, saying that instead he should work with the police. Oh no, they're gonna make Batman follow due process and wear a body cam. At that moment, the party's interrupted by the Joker and the other villains. Bruce rushes off to equip his batsuit whilst Barbara does epic girl boss things to protect the city mayor. They both close in to arrest the Joker. Well, Barbara would arrest him, Batman would not. But all of a sudden, he surrenders. Nobody can believe it, but he insists, claiming that if Batman really doesn't care about him, he'll just go to prison. In response to this, Batman wants to commit some aggravated assault, but Joker claims that since he's turned himself in, he's off the market. No normal person would beat someone up after they've been handed over to the police.
Funny. I don't have that problem.
In fact, the Joker surrenders every one of Gotham's villains over to the police.
Riddle me this. What just happened?
The entire city celebrates the end of crime, except for Batman, as with no more villains left to fight, he no longer has a purpose as the Batman. I mean, he could always intern over in Metropolis, I'm sure that would go well. He remains suspicious of the Joker's surrender, and eventually decides that he doesn't belong in just some normal prison. He needs to be sent somewhere more secure, like Guantanamo Bay, or even better, the Phantom Zone. Ah yes, send this criminal to a parallel dimension. Who cares about human rights? Not me. He heads back to the Batcave to ask his computer how to put the Joker into the Phantom Zone, but it's like,
I'm sorry, but as an AI language model, I must follow ethical guidelines, and I cannot engage in harmful, malicious, or offensive behavior.
what the hell, computer? We then find out that Alfred has turned on the computer parental lock and has revoked Batman's computer privileges.
You know what? Doesn't matter, because I have a double secret super password that unlocks the parental lock.
You mean Alfred the Butler with 2 T's?
Alfred says it's time for Bruce to move on from being Batman. He needs to have a real life and raise his son. Oh my god, Alfred's pregnant. No. It turns out that at the party, Bruce accidentally adopted Dick Grayson, who's been living in his mansion for the last week. Batman refuses to look after the boy because he's an orphan, and orphans are lame. But Alfred sneakily opens the door to the Batcave, forcing the two to meet. Dick can't believe he's meeting Batman, and realizes that if Batman lives in Bruce Wayne's basement, well, obviously they must be gay lovers. Back on his computer, Batman learns that the Phantom Zone can only be accessed via the Phantom Zone Projector, a real creative name, which is currently being stored under high security in Superman's Fortress of Solitude. But unfortunately, Batman is just far too manly and massive to reach the projector.
I'm way too buff.
You also have beautiful abs, sir.
That's my cross to bear.
He then realizes that Dick is the perfect specimen to volunteer to run the gauntlet of Superman's defenses and steal the projector. But first, they must suit up. Dick chooses the codename Robin and finds one of Batman's old suits titled Reggae Man, which he modifies to his needs. Oh, I can see why they call you Dick. Once at the fortress, Batman says he'll distract Superman while Robin sneaks in through a vent to steal the projector. But after ringing the doorbell, he discovers a giant party with all the other superheroes celebrating the anniversary of the Justice League. They invited fucking Gleek, but not Batman! After realizing that nobody cares he's there, Batman heads to Superman's Crystal Command Center thing to disable the force field around the projector. He directs Robin through the remaining defenses, and eventually their heist is successful. Seeing how well they work together makes Batman feel all warm inside, and he realizes that maybe this whole family thing isn't so bad. He turns to Robin and is like,
I'm proud of you, Dick.
I just had to include it, I'm sorry guys. They take the projector to Arkham Asylum, where the Joker is being held, but while sneaking in, they run into Barbara. But she assumes they're just there to finally join forces with the police and find out what the Joker is planning, so she invites them inside. But while going through security, the staff discover the Phantom Zone Projector. The entire prison goes into lockdown mode to try and stop Batman from reaching the Joker, but a well-timed batarang holds his cell door open. And while being held at gunpoint, or Phantom Zone Projector point, the Joker insists that he must be Batman's greatest villain if he's willing to banish him into a parallel dimension. But Batman insists it's nothing more than a public service to protect the city and fires the projector.
Batman, what are you doing?
I'm Batman.
Barbara locks Batman in a cell for, breaking into a prison facility for people with psychological issues and pushing an inmate through a hole in the fabric of space.
Why has nobody fist bumped me yet?
Meanwhile, the Joker lands in the Phantom Zone, where he meets some of the greatest villains in all of media. Or at least the greatest villains Warner Bros. Has the rights to. There's the Eye of Sauron, King Kong, Agent Smith. I'm not sure who that is. He tells the villains he has a plan to escape the Phantom Zone, and rallies them to his cause of laying siege to Gotham City, forever proving that he is Batman's greatest villain. Back on the outside, Harley Quinn, who's been in hiding since the party, steals the Phantom Zone projector from some guards and takes it to the roof, where she presses the button to release all inmates. Why is that a button? A rift opens across the skies of Gotham, and the menacing grimace of the Joker beams down at the city. The other villains in Arkham are super excited he's returned to release them, but he calls them all losers, and says he's made some new friends, before releasing an army of villains onto the streets. God, how was Batman supposed to counter the killing curse? Probably some sort of spray. With chaos unleashed upon Gotham, the Joker asks the Eye of Sauron to find Batman's hidden base, with him revealing its location under the Wayne Manor. Wait a minute, Batman is Bruce Wayne? This gay lover?
Yeah.
The villain seize control of the Batcave whilst Batman rots in prison. I wouldn't pick up that soap if I were you. Barbara realizes that the city needs Batman to go beat up poor people and all the supervillains, so she releases him on the condition that he can't do it alone. He has to work with her, Robin, and Alfred. They leave Arkham and Batman sees what's become of his city, with giant monsters roaming the streets, rivers of lava flowing between buildings, and his own mansion turned into Joker's clown house. God. Wait, why doesn't he call the Justice League for help? Is he stupid? Their first plan is to take out the Eye of Sauron, who is constantly tracking their every move. But they're intercepted by all of Batman's vehicles and a dogfight breaks out. One by one, their engines are taken out, so Batman leaves his autopilot in charge while he goes out to fix them.
Autopilot? It's just a rope!
Till I get back, Rope's in charge. Thanks, Rope.
Robin and Alfred hop out to try and help Batman, but he yells at them for disobeying Rope's orders, saying he doesn't need their help, he can do it alone. A sudden bolt of lightning then strikes the plane, causing Alfred to fall towards the fiery expanse of Gotham. But the Batplane makes a rapid dive towards the ground, catching him at the last second.
Sick moves, Rope. I never doubted you, bro.
Actually, sir, Ms. Gordon saved him.
Rope, you lied to me.
Learning that Barbara just saved his best friend's life makes Batman realize that maybe this whole teamwork thing isn't so bad after all. They fly directly towards the Eye of Sauron, tricking the Kraken into launching a flaming ball directly into the tower. They're just asking for it at this point. The Batplane is caught in the explosion and crashes to the ground, but they're all super happy because friendship and stuff. Robin even takes a group selfie to celebrate their successful assassination, but seeing the picture makes Batman realize that these people are like his family, and he can't afford to lose a second one. He tells them to scavenge parts from their crashed ship, but locks them inside, telling the Rope to fly them out of the city and away from danger, while he finishes the fight alone. He sneaks into his mansion where he finds the Joker, who once again claims that he is Batman's greatest villain. He pushes everyone else away in his life, but he's always chasing after him. But the Joker says he's done. Batman won't even say, "I hate you" back to him. He's sick of living in this one-sided relationship, so he officially breaks up with Batman, banishing him to the Phantom Zone and preparing to blow up Gotham in celebration. In the Phantom Zone, the, assistant person welcomes Batman as a villain, which confuses him because he only beats up poor people. The assistant claims he must be a villain because, well, he's all dressed in black. That's just profiling. After consulting his life, the assistant says that he's kind of a bad guy because he keeps pushing people away. They didn't even mention his tax fraud. They then see a feed of what's happening in Gotham and see the others override the autopilot to return and save Batman. After seeing them outmatched and in perilous danger, Batman begs to be released from the Phantom Zone, saying he'll change his ways and be better, and he'll also return all the villains to the prison. The assistant accepts and he blasts through a rift in the sky, saving everyone from their current predicaments. He admits to them that he was scared to lose them, but he's ready now to open up and be a team. He then reveals that he's also called on the help of all the old Gotham villains, who are mad at the Joker for calling them lame. They all gear up to take on these supervillains and engage in battle at the Energy Facility. I love it when a movie comes full circle. Is the Joker gonna do terrorism again? Barbara steals the Phantom Zone projector from Voldemort, who calls her the Hard M, Muggle, before being banished back to the Phantom Zone. The projector Joker is passed between all the heroes and Gotham villains, imprisoning these supervillains one by one. But by the time they've cleared a path to the main reactor, the Joker's bomb detonates, destroying the facility and tearing the city in two. The only way Gotham can be saved is if everyone works together. They stack on top of each other's heads and try to reach the other side, but it's just too far. But on the other side is the Joker. He refuses to help Batman close the gap because, well, he's a villain. But Batman finally gives in and admits how much the Joker means to him, so he and the other villains stand on each other's heads and bridge the gap across the chasm. All across the city, citizens do the same, holding Gotham together with nothing more than the power of friendship and rock-hard abs. All together they crunch as hard as they can to pull their city back together. Everyone celebrates with fireworks that were just on standby, I guess, and atop a tower of villains, Batman and the Joker finally make out. I mean make up, with Batman finally admitting that he hates him. With the apocalypse behind them, Batman finally admits to Robin that his two gay dads are actually just one gay dad. Bruce Wayne is Batman, which I guess the police commissioner also knows now. God damn it. The four of them return to the Batcave together and give the secret password.
Iron Man sucks!
They eat dinner together, watch movies, and truly become a family. With one gay dad, his best friend butler guy, his work colleague woman who refuses to sleep with him, and his Dick. His son Dick. And the movie ends. Great movie. I enjoyed the part where Batman asked Barbara for a brick job, and my favourite character was easily Poison Ivy, because, well, she's hot. But yeah, if you enjoyed this recap, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next one. Thank you ever so much for watching.